Okay, step 3 here. So we've done the blind contour. We've done just the contour outline of our reference. Now we're gonna go in and we're going to transform this to this. So this is that like goal at the end. As you guys can see, it has all of these elements that we've been discussing. Lots of line and contour. And it sort of creates that abstract look. And remember, we're not shading at all. So we're just really breaking this down into outline, into just shapes, just the outline of the different shades that we see or the different shapes that we see. So we have now the outline, and we're gonna go in now and create all of these different pockets, these shapes that are really gonna add dimension to this project. So let's put this aside for a second. And the way that we're gonna do this is actually by identifying shapes. So for example, if I see on this cheek here, this shadow creates a shape, which I've kind of already done. I'm just gonna really emphasize that. So now I have that really awesome shape. Now, another one may be like this. So I'm starting to see where this is giving me some dimension. Now, we may also have to be a little imaginative with this to make our project more interesting. You know, we're taking that artistic freedom, we're making choices. So as you can see, I'm kind of erasing my more sketchy lines, and not sketchy in that way, sketchy lines to create that outline look. So just simplify this into basic shapes. Now the lips are actually a really good example of this because I can see a lot of highlights and shadows. So this is going to be really awesome area to do for this. So really simplifying that into just these basic shapes. This is going to identify, you know, where am I adding those different colors? How am I separating this image? So as you can see, I'm already starting to achieve that contour look. Now this shape on her face to me seems, you know, basically all the same value. So I'm going to simplify this all into one shape on her cheek. Now I'm going to go in and add some more interesting shapes. Now this is really where you can take that artistic freedom and make this something pretty cool. Maybe your image, if you looked at some of the reference photos, maybe you have celebrity as your reference photo and you're kind of doing something that makes sense for that celebrity. This is really where it's kind of up to you. I'm actually going to leave this eyebrow like that. And for the sake of this video, I'm gonna move on to the different shapes that I see in her hair, because that's where things are gonna get really complicated. And you may have a reference photo that has really, really interesting, cool hair that we wanna really bring to the forefront here for this project. So as you can see, I'm starting to simplify this into different shapes. Now it kind of looks weird, and that's the point of this. So we want to get outside of that comfort zone of thinking what should our art look like, and really just break this down into different shapes. Now for the hair, this is kind of where I can get a little bit more creative, and I'm really going to try and add a lot of movement in my hair. So in my reference photo, I see that movement, and I'm really just trying to recreate that now. So remember, once again, really simplifying these shapes, getting rid of those guides that I had created before to get these proportions correct, and now focusing simply on the shape. This is that cool process of really editing and making this project exactly what it is now. Some things to keep in mind, I think it's cool to have a mix of larger shapes. So maybe I kind of simplify this entire forehead into just maybe 3 main shapes. So 1, 2, then I kind of will add that really cool, you know, maybe this is a really good value for the nose. And now this forehead's kind of broken up into these basic shapes. I really want to mix larger shapes with really, really small shapes. That'll give us that good contrast between the different lines here.